Cam Newton is one of the NFL's biggest brands. By that I mean he's just one of those iconic players in the league that's extremely recognizable. He's got a certain flair going for him with outrageous outfits and distinguished celebrations. Basically, both on the field and off the field, Cam Newton is a headline generator. In this video, we're gonna go over the 10 things you need to know about the Patriots' new quarterback. We'll cover everything from the scandal in college to why he types like this and why he dresses like that, and how he ended up going to junior college at one point. There's plenty to talk about when it comes to Cam Newton. And if you enjoy this video, then you'll probably enjoy my other ones as well, where we cover more about Newton and the Patriots. A lot of viewers on this channel aren't subscribed, so if you enjoy NFL content, then feel free to sub it up here. If you've watched Cam Newton's career, then you've probably seen him hand the ball to young fans after every touchdown he scores. The story behind this is a good one. Newton's former offensive coordinator Mike Shula didn't love all the celebrating after his quarterback's touchdowns, so Newton asked what he could do. And the two came up with Sunday giveaways for the kids in the crowd. Newton told the Charlotte Observer, "I grabbed the ball and made eye contact with a kid in the front row. And it was as if we knew each other forever. I handed him the ball and it was the most priceless moment I could put my finger on up to that moment. Giving a child or a kid a football is something you will cherish for your whole professional career. I've seen kids cry." Outside the stadium, Newton is known for his charitable acts as well. For 8 years, his foundation has held Cam's Thanksgiving Jam, where Cam and volunteers have fed thousands of underprivileged children. There's also Santa Cam's Surprise Sleigh, where he shows up unannounced to schools with backpacks, clothing, and gift cards. And in 2019, Newton was the Panthers' Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee. Cam's father, Cecil, who is pretty well known in the sports world for reasons we'll get to later, he played safety on the training camp rosters of the Cowboys and Bills back in the early 80s. Sometimes Cecil can deliver some good insider insight on the life of Cam. In fact, he recently told the Ringer, "I built Cam. He'll tell you I built him. Everybody else who knows me knows I built him." He went on to say that Cam was the biggest thing in the nursery at 10 pounds and 9 ounces. From the get-go, Cecil would train Cam in conditioning, whether it was a sequence of push-ups or making him get out of the car and run home. He said that Cam has a Navy SEAL mentality, and if you do follow Cam on social media, then you'll certainly see that he comes off that way. Newton's older brother, Cecil Jr., played college football at Tennessee State and was signed as an undrafted free agent for the Jaguars. He went on to play center on the practice squads for the Saints, Packers, and Ravens. And lastly, Cam's younger brother, Kalen, played quarterback at Howard. As one of the top recruits in the country, Cam chose to play college ball at Florida. He originally sat behind Tim Tebow, but during his sophomore year, he was arrested for stealing a laptop. Newton said he bought the laptop and didn't know it was stolen, but the police report said differently. Years later, Newton posted his mugshot on Instagram saying on that day he thought his football career was over, but he vowed to become better from the situation. Florida suspended him from the team and he eventually transferred to Blinn College. So at a junior college, he obviously dominated, but he was also humbled and learned some discipline by doing things like painting the bleachers. After that college career reset, he was highly recruited and transferred to Auburn. Newton's brilliant 2010 campaign with Auburn didn't come without controversy either. There were allegations that his father Cecil had sought over $100,000 from Mississippi State in return for his son's transfer. At one point, Auburn declared Cam ineligible after the NCAA found evidence against Cecil, but there was no evidence against Cam himself or Auburn, so he was quickly reinstated. To this day, Cecil denies any wrongdoing. He said, "That stuff has been buried. It was a hoax. I went through a literal financial colonoscopy. They didn't find nothing. This season may sound like a disaster, but on the field, just about everything was going right." For Auburn, Cam was pretty much unstoppable. In his first game, he racked up 5 total touchdowns. He became the first SEC player to ever throw for over 2,000 yards and rush for over 1,000 yards in a season. He threw 28 touchdowns with just 6 interceptions, but also rushed for 20 touchdowns as well. He won the Heisman vote in a landslide and was the 3rd Auburn player to ever win the award. That also made him the first ever double transfer to win the Heisman, and the first junior college transfer since 1983. Auburn went undefeated, winning the SEC, and in the national championship, Newton conducted a game-winning drive to set up a last-second field goal to win the game. That made him one of the few quarterbacks to win the Heisman, go undefeated, and win a national championship in the same season. After a performance like that, he was the number 1 overall pick in the 2011 NFL Draft. Have you ever looked at some of Cam Newton's outfits and think, what in the world is he thinking?
Ridiculous.
Well, apparently he sometimes has those type of thoughts too.
Whatever, kind of cracks your eye, and I know it's a lot of times, I even look back at the things that I wear and like, golly, like what was I feeling, what was I wearing, but that's what it's all about. It's about self-expression.
Now, if you're wondering where this fashion came from, here's the story. Newton Sr. imposed a strict curfew and kept a close eye on his son's friends. In an effort to curtail bad behavior, when Newton was in 6th grade, his mother instructed him to wear a suit to school every Friday. Why? She thought he would be embarrassed by his overly formal wear and in turn would be discouraged from acting out. It worked the opposite, Newton Sr. said. Surprisingly, he took to it genuinely and honestly. On Thursdays, he was already ironing his shirts and slacks for the following day. Now, once again, have you ever looked at Cam Newton's Instagram and wondered, what in the world is he thinking? On every single post, he writes in this text, now known as Cam Newton font. I mean, there's even an online converter for this, so you too can write like Cam Newton. It looks like Julian Edelman even used it to celebrate his new quarterback. Here's Cam's answer to why he types like this.
A person that knows nothing about me may go on my social media and say, man, why you write like that? Right. What is that decoded crap that you put out there? I'm like, listen, one thing it makes you do, it makes you focus on what I'm saying. Yeah. I don't care if it takes you 3 minutes to say, what are you saying? I love you? Why you just couldn't say I love you rather than just put it in this symbol? Because that's not who you are. Correct. Right. So everybody's different, and my mind works a different way.
In 2015, Cam Newton led the Panthers to a 15-1 record. He received 48 out of 50 MVP votes and did it all without his number 1 receiver in Kelvin Benjamin. In fact, Newton's lackluster supporting cast might be what makes this performance one of the best in NFL history. He threw for 35 touchdowns and rushed for 10 more, proving he could take over the professional landscape just like he did in college. He became the 8th player to ever win the Heisman and NFL MVP. If you're interested in the other players, well, I've already got a video available for you. Link will be in the description. Newton's MVP season, though, was just dominant, and his dual threat ability made him one of the biggest headache-producing players that coaches have ever had to prep against. Still, in Super Bowl 50, the Broncos' all-time defense was able to slow down Newton and the Panthers. But that year in 2015, we all witnessed what Newton can become when he's firing on all cylinders. In 2019, Cam Newton switched to a vegan diet, and he has no plans to change right now. Part of the reason for his switch is how some of the biggest and strongest animals on Earth survive off plants. For him, eating vegan means being disciplined with what you eat. Recently, he even started a new vegan campaign as he joins the growing list of athletes making the switch. The final thing you should know about Cam Newton is that he once had his own show on Nickelodeon called All In with Cam Newton. He would help kids reach their dreams by connecting them with their mentors. After that, he launched his own production company that now makes all those videos you see on Instagram, including the one with the Batman music and OBJ. They also make the videos on his own YouTube channel, so after you're done subscribing here and watching every single Chase Chats video, you can head over there.